Chief Justice John Roberts has done it again. Back in 2009, he botched the oath of office that he gave President Obama. Messed up on the words. The next day, the White House had Obama take the oath of office again, word for what they said was out of abundance of caution. And now, Roberts is messed up again, this time at Trump's inauguration. He had one job. I want to tell you a little bit about the history, give you some little historical tidbits on the traditions of the oath of office. I'll tell you what Roberts did and what he was likely thinking. And then I'll just let you come to your own conclusion. Are you ready? Let's do it. The 60th presidential inauguration, January the 20th, 2025. Donald Trump's second inauguration. Vice President J.D. Vance was sworn in first. His son was escorted in. His wife and children came in and stood around him. His own mother was in attendance and was able to step out across from her son. It was a beautiful family setting. And Justice Kavanaugh allowed close to 30 seconds for the family to get set and be stationed before he gave the oath. And it went beautifully. And then Chief Justice Roberts was announced. And he stepped forward, and Trump stepped forward to get ready to take the oath. Roberts asked him to raise his right hand and repeat after him, and then Roberts was off to the races. Roberts started 3 seconds after Trump stepped up. Melania was still not in place, and she was holding the Bibles. Trump's children were still stepping out of their seats and trying to get position behind their father before he started the oath. Melania stepped up, holding the Lincoln Bible, and also the Bible that Trump's mother gave him, and Trump never placed his hands on the Bibles. And you could really tell that he was laser focused on listening intently to what Roberts was saying so he could repeat it back word for word. Trump is someone who doesn't like to make mistakes. And it wasn't simply a deliberate refusal. It just was that Trump doesn't want to mess up. And he was just plowing on. And the internet exploded after the oath of office. People were fretting whether or not Trump was official. Other people were wishing that he really wasn't president because he hadn't put his hand on the Bible. And it really was one of the more popular headlines across all the news organizations that day. It was one of the top Googled searches on Inauguration Day. And so the big question is it required for a president to use the Bible when taking the oath of office? And the answer is no. The tradition started back with George Washington during his first inauguration. He landed in New York City, and his Bible, his family Bible, was still with all of his belongings that were being moved and transported from Mount Vernon to New York City, and they managed to locate a Bible in a local Masonic lodge there in New York City, and they borrowed it, and Washington used that Bible to take the oath of office because he believed he was also vowing and taking this oath before God. And after he took the oath of office prescribed by the Constitution, tradition tells us, history tells us, that he then reverently kissed the Bible, and then he said, "So help me God." And those 4 words, "so help me God," are not in the Constitution, and he simply added it, and tradition has presidents repeating that now. And in fact, even the tradition of kissing the Bible was followed for about 64 years after Washington, all the way up into Franklin Pierce in 1853, and it ceased after that. Well, Washington's Bible has been used by several presidents, in fact, because of how historic it is during their own inaugurations as well. But the U.S. Constitution says nothing about a Bible being required to take the oath of office. In Article 2, it just simply says that before a president begins his term and takes on the responsibilities of office, that he needs to take the oath, where he promises to preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States. We've actually had 4 presidents who didn't even use the Bible when they took their oath. John Quincy Adams was the first, a very devout Christian, a professing Christian. He used the law book. Then you have Theodore Roosevelt, who was sworn in following William McKinley's assassination in 1901, and they didn't have a Bible present then. And then you have Calvin Coolidge, who was woke up in the middle of the night and informed that Warren Harding had suddenly passed away and that he was now president. His own father gave him the oath of office right there in his boyhood home. And Calvin Coolidge says he didn't use a Bible. He said there was a Bible sitting right there on the table next to him, but he didn't use the Bible because he didn't believe that it was required that he use it. And then Lyndon Johnson didn't use the Bible when he took the oath of office on Air Force One following JFK's assassination there in Dallas, Texas. They couldn't find a Bible on board Air Force One, and so they used what was the closest thing they thought, and it was a Catholic missal, a Catholic book of prayer. What was Chief Justice John Roberts thinking, and why was he in such a hurry? Well, it could be said that, and probably argued, that perhaps Roberts was feeling the pressure of getting Trump sworn in before noon, and the clock was right up against the noon hour. You see, the 20th Amendment to the Constitution, which talks about when the president takes office, says that the terms of the president and vice president shall end at noon on the 20th of January. And so what translation for that is simply that the date and time make you president, not taking the oath. And so perhaps in Roberts' thinking, he needed to quickly get Trump to take the oath before noon. And, you know, the U.S. Constitution, as I said earlier, just simply says that you have to take the oath before you assume the duties and responsibilities. And I think that, really, honestly, Roberts should have understood this, and there was actually no need to hurry at all. And so, at best, I believe that Roberts was being inconsiderate for not allowing the family, Melania, and the children to come out and stand and get situated. I mean, this was, after all, a very historic moment, not only for the president and for the nation, but also for his family. And Roberts should have taken a cue from Justice Kavanaugh. And while he got the wording to the oath correct, his timing was off. I'm interested in what you think about Oathgate. What do you think about Justice Roberts' actions? I would love to hear your take on it. Drop your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Hey, if you like what you saw today, you actually learned something, you got value from it, hit the like button for us. And if you haven't joined our PREZ Politics family yet, hit the subscribe button now. Hey, if you like what you saw today, check out our other videos on our channel. I guarantee you'll love them.